Hello everyone and welcome back to another CUPHEAD challenge. Today we're going to be defeating the DLC by only using PEASHOOTER, one that I think will be quite difficult, purely because of some of the boss's speed, but we're actually just going to get straight into this one, no fancy intro or anything. So first of all, just got to buy some charms real quick, so yeah, that'll be good. Here's me buying some charms, just, the norm. Now our first boss today is going to be Glumstone the Giant, so let's just get straight into this. Now, for first phase, PEASHOOTER was actually really good. I think it's actually quite preferred. So first phase was a breeze. Second phase, PEASHOOTER was alright, but I can't imagine doing what next, but second phase was fine. Third phase was a bit trickier because of the speed, and I had to lock and jump, and it was just a bit trickier, but we managed to knock out Glumstone. Our next boss will be Mortimer Freeze. This one was really easy, apart from first phase, of course. First phase was really hard because I had to lock, and because of the icicles that come down, it's really hard to predict where they're going to come down, and you have to maneuver yourself really weirdly. But eventually we got first phase done. Second phase was fine, just had to, shoot and it would go in. And then, of course, third phase was fine. Just a bit tricky to, get the shots on because of the fast-moving platforms. But we managed to defeat Mortimer Freeze, of course. So next we're going to be moving on to the Howling Aces. This one was pretty mediocre in difficulty, I'd say. First phase was fine, you just had to lock on or shoot upwards. Just dodge the things. Then the fire hydrants were a bit hard to hit, but I managed to do it, of course. Second phase was, fine. If I just shot in one direction, it would eventually get them all, but it did take quite a while. But second phase was done. Third phase was pretty easy, you just had to go underneath and shoot upwards. So eventually we managed to knock out the Howling Aces. Our next boss today will be, of course, Esther Winchester. Now this is a plain level, but because I started a new save I didn't have bombs, so this really adds to the whole no buying any guns thing. But we managed to do Esther. First phase was fine, I suppose. It was a bit tricky without bombs because, when she went down a layer, I had to go down with her. But, it was good. And then second phase was fine. I wouldn't really use bombs for second phase anyway, so it was fine. Third phase was a bit tricky because I would use bombs for that, but that took a while and it was a bit tricky. And, of course, final phase was fine. I wouldn't use bombs for that anyway. So we knocked out Esther Winchester, of course. Now we're moving on to Moonshine Mob, who was pretty easy, I'd say. But first phase was a bit tricky because I had to either shoot down, across, up. It was just a bit tricky to predict and move to get good shots, but we managed to do first phase. Second phase was easy. I used Miss Chalice for this because of the Miss Chalice buff for second phase. I could use Invisible Dash, but I think Miss Chalice buffs were better. So I used Miss Chalice, of course. The second phase thing I'm talking about, if you go into the wall, you can either Invisible Dash or Miss Chalice dodge roll to avoid the gramophone music waves. Second phase was easy. I'd use Converge for that, and PEASHOOTER's got similar fire rate and pattern to Converge, so we managed to knock out second phase. And now final phase was a bit tricky, but I managed to lock. So I often found myself locking, or just going underneath and shooting up when he did this long thing and the spitball came out. And of course, Moonshine Mob, easy. He's probably one of the easiest boss knocked. I'll be right back. And of course, Moonshine Mob, one of the easiest bosses in DLC. So of course we did Moonshine Mob. Okay, now the climax of this video, we're going to be attempting Chef Saltbaker with only PEASHOOTER. So I use Heart Ring, like I have for everyone apart from Moonshine Mob, of course, which is just one of the best charms in my opinion. But we're starting Chef Saltbaker off. First phase was alright. It was just a bit hard because sometimes I had to lock, and when you lock, you can't actually duck. It's just a bit annoying. So that was a bit annoying. Just shut up, yeah. So first phase was done pretty quickly. Second phase was easy. If I just shot the bottom two and occasionally locked up to the top two, it was fine. So yeah, it was pretty easy. Third phase was a bit tedious because of the hitbox. Hitbox really weird. But of course we managed to do third phase. And now probably the hardest bit of this entire video is fourth phase. In 3 attempts in a row, I managed to get to final phase. 3 attempts in a row, no dying in between. But final phase was so difficult because I usually use crack shot, and it would automatically, go onto the target. But without it, it was so painful because I had to get beside it, and it moved pretty quickly. And I could lock down and things, but then before you know it, you were hitting the bottom of the screen and took damage. But though after a lot of toil and stress, I finally managed to defeat the DLC by only using PEASHOOTER. Thank you guys so much for watching this short video. This is probably going to be my last Cuphead video for a while because I'm going to move on to a different series, which you'll be seeing very soon. So thank you guys so much for 400 subs. I haven't said that yet, but we hit 400 subs, which is it's so great, and I'm so grateful for all of it. I will be seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.